Now, if a woman, tells her man, well, I know you're going out in the way, well, so you just give him dawah. Say it's not something extreme as you had or anything like that, but you're just going to give dawah or you're going to help somebody. Sometimes we allow our wives to say, well, I wanted you to stay home and watch TV with me. Well, that's going from one good to an extremely bad. I thought we were going to go do this and go do that. Without taking into consideration that the brother is doing something for the pleasure of Allah.
Right.
And so when Allah says that your wives can be enemies to you, this is one of the ways that your wife can be an enemy to you. Now, alhamdulillah, let's talk about the kids. Now, I'm not going to lie.
Did you want to read the tafsir?
Well, we'll get to it in a minute, inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay.
Now, me personally, when it comes to my girls, I give you an example. We went to the store yesterday to get the girls some shoes. And while we're in the store, there was this big old metal thing full of balls.
Mm-hmm.
Little rubber balls that you play with, little spiky balls. Yum Yum says, Daddy, I want a ball. So I'm not getting you a ball. Daddy, can I get a ball? No, we're not getting a ball. So we go around and, we're trying on shoes and everything. On the way out the door, what does Daddy do?
Get her a ball.
Daddy buys the ball.
Mm-hmm.
My wife looks at me. She said, where did you get that from? She said, you bought that for the girls? I said, yeah, this is going to do to me. Like, they get you every time.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have to stand firm in other areas, like wearing the hijab. A lot of women, they're too young. They don't have to wear the hijab yet. They're not praying yet. It's not obligatory on them.
Mm-hmm.
But, my personal philosophy, what I think, especially living in here in this country, they have to get acclimated to it. They have to get used to it before it comes time for them to wear it. Because when they get to the age when it's time to wear it,
you want to train them as you intend for them to go.
Exactly. Because they might not want to wear it at that age. When they can start really start to think for themselves a little bit.
It's not just about the think, it's about the images that set in, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The images that set in that other people around them view as being beautiful, mm-hmm. as being attractive, whatever term you want to use,
mm-hmm.
that draws our young girls into this concept and notion that they should disrobe.
Mm-hmm. And
like I always say, it's all fun and games until it's your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's with most most men.
Yeah.
It's perfectly okay, until it's your daughter.
Yeah.
That the eyes are looking at,
mm-hmm.
And so man.
I remember seeing a movie a while back, and the guy goes into a bar, strip club,
mm-hmm.
Where the girls dance,
mm-hmm.
and he goes in there. He's he ready to have fun, with his guys and everything. And he gets to the stage, and he looks on the stage and sees his own daughter, and he loses his mind. That's why it's funny when you say that. It's one thing. How you say it?
It's all fun and
games. It's all fun and games.
Until you see that,
until you see your daughter,
your niece, I mean,
nowadays you might see your mama up there. Nowadays you might say, "Mom, what you doing?" So may Allah protect us from that. I mean, but a lot of times we give in. Not for the extreme haram or nothing like that, but
it's small.
It's the small ones that get you.
They build up.
I'm gonna tell you one of the biggest things I can is the TV shows, the so-called educational TV shows for kids, where they might be teaching you A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but then there's a one flying around with the witch's wand.
Yeah.
You know, and
talking about magic.
yes, you know, well, hey, peace, is she doing this, and then she swing the wand, maybe a letter pop up or an alligator pop up, and a baboon pop up, and a crazy man pops up, whatever. But the point is, we are plaguing our children ourselves. Yeah. We are causing the most damage inside the household.
With the TV.
Yes.
And the computer.
Oh, computer, yes.
You know, both of them. If they watch programming. You know, I've had the same issues with mine. And, you know, my youngest daughter, you know, is very impressionable. And she's a voracious learner. She absorbs. And I have to be very vigilant about what she absorbs because she will, you know, she'll pick up a lot of vision to deal with magic. You know, for instance, I'll give you an example. Okay, my wife decides she's gonna take the kids out to see a movie. Okay, now I am a avid, staunch. Opponent of Walt Disney because of the messages, because of the a lot of the racial undertones that are in Walt Disney, and I don't care what it is, you know. So they go to see a movie, a Walt Disney movie, and it's supposed to be like a musical, you know, and you end up with Jack and the Beanstalk that's in it, and so now they're talking about these magic beans. Not only talking about magic beans, but then Jack climbs the beanstalk and he, yeah, I'm talking about just horrible ideas. You know, he's up there stealing.
And people don't ever think about that part. No one thinks about that part.
Right. You know, I mean, it was a couple of elements and ideas in that movie that were completely un-Islamic.
Like the harp that, you know, the string instruments.
Yes, right.
With the speaking woman on the end of it.
I mean, it was a few different concepts in it that are just completely, they go against, you know, our way. And when you have a child sitting there all in the name of entertainment, so here you have a falsehood, because it's just a story that somebody made up. So it's a falsehood, you know.
So and you then tell me Jack and the Beanstalk wasn't real?
It's thievery, stealing, you know, something to get your hand chopped off, you know, but it's all supposed to be in fun and games, though. And then some magic beans, you know, that that you get a child. And I mean, you know, and we could go on, but.
And you know, I'm not gonna lie. When I was a kid, I wanted some magic beans bad. I want to climb up that thing and steal. I want to steal me some gold. Was it golden egg or a golden hen?
It was a hen that laid golden eggs.
Yes.
It was, or a goose, you know. It was. I mean, he had some gold items, and the harp was one of them also.
Gold, yeah.
But the point is that what it does is it puts into the heart that you know, to when you're poor, because Jack's family was poor, you know, that it's okay to steal. You know, and to hope for some type of magical, you know, not a miracle, magical. You know, there's a difference.
It's a big difference.
You know, miracles happen from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But this magic thing, subhanallah, you know, it's these ideas, Akhi, that are sent out there, and they hit our children's hearts, and our children's hearts start to really like absorb it and soak it in, and then they start to harbor and hanker after it, wanting it. So
that's deep. Go ahead after you shout out to further.
I just want to read a little bit of the tafsir regarding this verse. where, you know, it says, Allah states that some wives and children are enemies to their husbands and fathers, in that they might be busy with them rather than with performing the good deeds. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in another ayah, O ye who believe, let not your properties or your children divert you from the remembrance of Allah, and whosoever does that, then they are the losers.
Now let me stop you right there. That made me reflect. Alhamdulillah, you know, after Jummah on Fridays, Jummah, we usually go like grocery shopping and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times I don't like it. And what happens is when you go into those stores and you're running from store to store, Salat tends to creep in and creep out on you,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And what my wife and I do now, one of us say, let's stop at the masjid. Because we know we're running. We know we're hitting there, we're hitting here, we're moving about. But sometimes we have to say, it's getting late. Let's pray before, you know, especially love going somewhere like Sam's Club. And I'm not promoting Sam's Club, I'm just saying sometimes if you got a big family, you got to go somewhere like that to take care of your family. But we find ourselves getting close to missing a salat.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, then we have to rush to the store, rush to the masjid, you know, or somewhere and offer the prayer. So alhamdulillah, that's a good example of what is being said here by the scholars on the interpretation of this ayat. All right, go ahead, ask you to the next one. What's this? You right here?
Yes, it says, Allah the Exalted said here, therefore beware of them for your religion. According to Ibn Zayd, and Mujahid explained the ayat, verily among your wives and your children there are enemies for you, by saying they might direct the man to sever his relation or disobey his Lord. The man who loves his wives and children might obey them in this case. Ibn Abi Hatim recorded that Ibn Abbas said to a man who asked him about this ayat, O ye who believe, verily among your wives and your children there are enemies for you, therefore beware of them. Men who embraced Islam in Mecca and wanted to migrate to Allah's messenger. However, their wives and children refused to allow them. Later, when they joined Allah's messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they found that those who were with him, the companions, have gained knowledge in the religion, so they were about to punish their wives and children. Allah the Exalted sent down this ayah. But if you pardon them and overlook and forgive them, then verily Allah is all forgiving, most merciful. At-Tirmidhi collected this hadith and said that it is Hasan Sahih. Allah's statement, your wealth and your children are only a fitna, whereas Allah with him is a great reward. Allah said that the wealth and children are a test and trial from Allah the Exalted for his creatures, so that he knows those who obey him and those who disobey him. Allah's statement, whereas Allah with him, meaning on the day of resurrection, is a great reward. As Allah said, beautified for men is the love of things they covet, women, children, gold and silver, branded beautiful horses, cattle, and well-tilled land. This is the pleasure of the present world's life, but Allah has the excellent return with him. And the ayat after it, Imam Ahmed recorded that Buraida said, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was given a speech, and Al-Hassan and Hussein came in wearing red shirts, walking and tripping. The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam descended from the minbar, held them and placed them in front of them, and said, Allah and his messenger said the truth. Verily your wealth and your children are a fitna. I saw these two boys walking and tripping and could not be patient until I stopped my speech and picked them up. This was recorded by the Sunan compilers, and At-Tirmidhi said Hasan Ghairi.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
And that is a fitna. You know, this is why we have to choose righteous women, and women have to choose righteous men. This is the reason why. So we can all be on the same page. If I go in my house and tell my wife, the kids are not supposed to watch that, don't let them watch that, then it should be no problem. I agree. You know,
right. As opposed to it's always a rebuttal. It's always some type of, you know.
I mean,
and I guess it's the mom, you know, that
they have that soft heart when it comes
that
to
tenderness,
kids.
you know,
yes,
and I get it, but it's a difficulty in as far as what you're trying to instill in them. You want your child to be stronger than what you were.
Yes.
You don't, you know, when you're dealing with what I would call, it's like the totem pole. Most, I'm not gonna say all, some will want to be at the top of that totem pole. So competitive in their mind that they don't even want to see their own children be better than them, outdo them.
Yes.
You understand? Now, for the Muslim, certainly for the believer, we want better for our children. We want them to be able to adhere to the Quran and Sunnah better than whatever we may have, you know. We want them, because we know that, man, we gonna be in that ground, and we definitely want them praying for us. You know, want them to make sure that they're righteous, so that salat that they're making, that dua that they're making, or, you know, for us and on our behalf. Alhamdulillah. You know, it will. You know, it'll be accepted from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it'll benefit, you know. But if you know, you start as you intend to go, and if you don't, then you already know what's about to happen.
Well, I tell you what, I was over at somebody's house the other day, and the TV was on, and the statement was made. The teenager in the house wanted to push play, and they asked the mom, you know, can I press play? But the mom said, well, this ain't good for the kids. And it popped in my mind, it always does, as Muslims, if our children can't watch it, what makes them we can watch it?
Right.
You know, where do we get off, it's R-rated, so the kids can't watch it? Well, guess what, Muslim? You can't watch it either.
That's true.
I mean, if you want to be realistic about it, you know.
That's true.
But what happens is we get indoctrinated by the Western lifestyle which we have been living all our lives. You know, we've been taught this. Remember, G was all we could watch, and then at a certain age, PG, and there was PG-13.
Well, I remember when they switched it to PG-13. I remember when there was no PG-13.
Well, I'm not that old.
Yeah, okay. Alhamdulillah. Oh, yeah, you are. Ain't no sense you trying to get up on camera.
Where was that?
About around when you about 15.
But my point is now, and then it was rated R. And I remember HBO be on nighttime, we out with the family, eating popcorn, watching the movie, and then as soon as that thing come on,
you silly. You talking about the theme music.
Yeah, and then it says the following picture is rated R. We look back, mom and dad be like going upstairs, and we just bad, you know.
Right.
Sometimes it might just be a gory movie, not really
nudity,
but just gory. But they going to, you sit there like, we'll close our eyes. Like Dad used to tell us, just turn your head.
Right.
Just turn your head.
Well, you know.
I'll tell you when you can look.
Hey, well, SubhanAllah. You know, I had an aunt, man, when I was a kid. My cousin, he's the only child. So his mom, you know, he had you know, when I tell you, you know, that was like my favorite aunt when I was a kid. You know, she had HBO and, you know, all of that. And it's funny because she used to say to me when the rated R movies and stuff would come on, she would just say, now what would your mama say if she was here? And I'll be like, I'll get all quiet. And I'll be like, she'll say I can't watch. She'll be like, I know it. and that's it. Like, you know, like I know it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna leave it up to you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I mean, yeah. If in that case, if she left it up to me, I had poor judgment. I think, subhanallah, I had poor judgment.
But you was young too.
I mean, I was a kid. I was younger than 17, so you know, I was, you know, I shouldn't have been watching it, but you know, she had all of the, you know, the VCR, all the things, the amenities. She was that out.
A lot of people didn't have.
Yeah. So you know, it's like I'm going over there.
Yeah.
Type of thing. But,
like going over their house, inshallah. But we're going to take a break, inshallah, and we're going to get back to the hard truth. We'll be right back.
This is next.
You got to talk about Jack and the Beanstalk.
Looking for a quality used car? Look no further than Spectrum Motor One, located at 3238 Westerville Road, Columbus, Ohio 43231. Not only does Spectrum offer good quality cars, but also a nationwide warranty, 40-point inspection, 5-year pay year, 0 interest, as well as allowed promise financing. Call Spectrum 814-477-4388 or email them at spectrummotor1@gmail.com. And if you tell them Muhammad Hard Truth Smith sent you, expect a 30% discount, and that's the hard truth.
Furniture Land, Ohio, located at 1395 Mills Road, Columbus, Ohio, 43229. Furniture Land, Ohio offers the most beautiful furniture for a beautiful price. Good and durable. Stand behind their products. Quality, service, and great deals are what they stand for. Call them at 614-447-8505 or email them at furniturelandohio2@ymail.com. And if you tell them Muhammad Hard Truth Smith sent you, you will get 10% off your purchase, inshallah. And that's the hard truth.
That's the hard truth. And another thing about Furniture Land, maybe I shouldn't put them on blast, but you know, that's the hard truth I got to tell you. They do a lot of charity work in the communities, alhamdulillah. And I've known many families who have went to them when they didn't have bunk beds and things for their kids. And, you know, I know because I had to make the deliveries for them. So we used to go pick up the bunk beds and take them to the families who need it, alhamdulillah. So may Allah reward those brothers. And make sure you visit these individuals and these businesses that support the hard truth, because they support the Muslims, alhamdulillah. And we want to support the Muslims. We want to make sure that when we are going around, that we want to support the Muslim business. You know, my brother here gets very animated and into it, if that's an okay word to use, when he speaks about, and he's 100% correct, when he speaks about the Muslim dollar going outside the Muslim circle, but the non-Muslim dollar, probably 1% of that makes it into the Muslim circle.
Rarely.
Very rarely. You know, unless it's some special event, maybe it's a costume party and somebody want to go dress as a Muslim. You know, what I was to the left. Right. You know, the things like that we have to deal with. But alhamdulillah, the number for us here at the show is 1-855-968-2756. And you just press the number 5 to tune in and talk to the host. Inshallah, press the 1 on your keypad once you're on our show. And if you want something, if you want to talk to us or something of that nature, then we will gladly talk to you. Alhamdulillah. Now, we talk about different issues, the children, the wives, you know, but sometimes let's flip the script. On the man being the trial for,
you
know,
the enemy.
The enemy, yes, the enemy. A lot of times, you know, a sister was on Facebook the other day, right? And she said, SubhanAllah, a Muslim man, a so-called Muslim man, we don't say a so-called because I can't, the life of me understand how someone can ask a Muslim woman this question. He says, sister, the reason why you're not married is because you have that hijab on. You should take it off so people can see how beautiful you are. Straight up. This now the sister put this on Facebook. Inshallah, I believe she's telling the truth. Of course, she didn't show it and put the brother on blast or nothing. But I'm like, wow, there's individuals out there who claim to be Muslim, claim to be on this deen of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and will let something like that come out of their mouths. Amazing. I mean, it makes my head, and my brother is killing my sound bites right now. Alhamdulillah. But it really makes my head like really just, do one of those, I think it's this one right here. Yeah, that one right there. It makes my head just want to say, like, what is the matter with these people? Are you serious? Is this really coming out of your mouth? There's some things that come out of the mouths of men that is astonishing. And some things you understand from the women because they are women. They see things differently than we do. But a man, you're supposed to use this. You're supposed to be able to logically understand that the deen is correct. And well, men are the ones who mess it up a lot. And I hate to say it, when it comes to these different sects and stuff, I never heard of a woman starting a new sect of Islam. But then we got that one crowd there, California.
Leave that alone.
Oh, wow. Well, let me retract that. We will go back, inshallah. But these men, like for instance, you see the man out there, wife fully covered. Wife got on hijab. I had a cousin like this. She was driving me crazy. Wife wearing the cob and everything. When you see her straight black, you couldn't see nothing. Gloves, everything. Mm-hmm. And she walking with my cousin who looked like a straight Catholic. I mean, you couldn't even tell he was Muslim unless he said "Salaam alaikum" to you. And I'm like, why are you not representing your? And the sad thing about it now,
she outgrowing.
Well, it was a backwards effect because she really, and we knew her. She really was serious about her religion.
She pulled her down,
pulled her out of it. She don't wear hijab no more. She got his kid, and she was patient. He keep going back and forth to prison. All this type of stuff until it got to the point where she couldn't deal with it no more, and she loved him, so she stayed with him. And that was her downfall, staying with him instead of getting a good brother. Because she was, man, I'm telling you, I remember when she first became Muslim. When she became Muslim, it was like wow, ninja overnight. She covered it up. Like serious.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, man, got to using drugs and doing real stupid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, he called me one time crying. She ain't covering no more. I said, are you serious? You telling me, I am with men,
right.
Don't come crying to me. It's your fault.
Yeah.
You are the one
you're the leader.
who want to get high and go back and forth to prison, leaving your kids and so on and so forth. You did this. She's going to stand in front of Allah, but guess what? You're going to be questioned about it.
Yes.
Allah says what? He said, the Prophet ﷺ on the day of judgment, Allah is going to question the men who Allah about the people who He put under His care.
Yeah.
The people He loaned to you.
Yeah, under your charge.
Yes.
SubhanAllah.
That's heavy, and I cannot do these type of men. Don't come to me crying after you done messed up. I don't want to hear it. Because guess what? You have the same ability that I have to make the same decisions.
You had the same amount of time.
Yes, to make the same decisions. We choose what path was the cut of Allah, but we choose that path. You know, brother, listen.
Whatever path you choose.
Now I have seen, you know, when I was in Atlanta, you know, some of the young guys, you know, they buy girls, bring them to the masjid, you know, I don't want to get married, you know, smell like everything they ain't supposed to be smelling like, you know, tell her to throw a scarf on her head as if the scarf is the only covering of the woman for some reason. I don't know where they get this from. But they come into the masjid, they want to get married. Sometimes we marry them, you know, and like you said, what happens is the sisters outgrow the men and be like, I don't want this boy. I want a man.
Yeah.
I want somebody who's practicing this religion. Take this boy away from me. You know, and it's funny because these boys are still boys. Here they are in their 30s now, or late 30s, still doing the same ignorant stuff they've been doing when they was in their 17, 18, 19, and 20s.
Ooh.
You know, it's amazing. It's like, when do you grow up? When do you grow out of this? When do you change who you are? When do you become a man?
Handicap. You know, and not to digress from the point, because you was talking about something yesterday, and I never got a chance to really touch on it with you, and that is, because you had mentioned, alhamdulillah, you had mentioned, you know, you had mentioned, I think, that there were, Yahadikum Allah Yuslahu wa Balakum. You know, you had mentioned, you had mentioned that about what plagues the African American community yesterday. And I'm gonna tell you that when you're talking about these boys that's going into the masjid, you know, that's 40, you know what I mean, doing the same thing that they was doing when they was 17, 18, you know, 19. A lot of it stems from, and it's not excuses and an explanation. The government has played a role, and when I say a role, I'm talking about in terms of the relationship between the government and the African American community is a unique relationship, unlike no other group. When we wanted rights, we had to go to the government. Everybody else had their rights already handed to them. And what they do is they fight against the government from encroaching on them. So you will hear people say, small government, little government, but you know, no socialism. You know, open the markets up and let the markets do what they do, because those other groups are bigger groups that's going to support and sustain one another, or they're going to exploit the smaller groups and make their money and their wealth off of the smaller group and the exploitation of that smaller group.
Yes.
So I just wanted to kind of touch on that, you know, because we didn't get, you know,
individuals are like this.
Yeah, because they've been used to the government taking care of in one shape, form, or fashion or another. When you see these disasters occur, floods and things like that, they stand around. They actually stand around, Aki, waiting on the government to you know, to do something instead of doing it themselves.
Well, you know what, Aki, and I say this all the time. This is one of our biggest problems. We're always waiting. You know, we're always waiting on somebody else to do something. You know, me and my wife, we have this thing because she's ready to move back down south, and she says, because down south people work together. She says here no one works together. Everyone waits for somebody else to do something. Okay. You know, and it's a sad truth. It's the hard truth, actually, because if you look at our area, it's wide open. Now, people don't know. I just found this out a week ago. You know what Ohio Elementary is?
What's it called?
Ohio, H-E-Y-L. Maybe about 10 blocks this way, 10 blocks that way, like catty corner, straight this way. If you just walk straight, you'll walk right into it. Okay. On Whittier in Ohio. Okay. Guess what they about to do with that place? The elementary school. It's abandoned now. They're about to tear it down and build condos in this neighborhood. And what blows my mind is, why are we not getting a piece of this while we can?
Well,
because what's going to happen is,
if we let me explain something to you, and you know, it goes back to being conditioned on where they spend, where these larger groups spend their money and who they spend their money with. The only thing that they can see a value or tangible worth coming from most, I'm not saying it's always the case, but most of the African American community is some type of entertainment or sports. They'll pay for that. But if you build that condo and your name up there is the developer, Muhammad Hard Truth Smith, and you say, I got these condos, they'll be sitting there abandoned.
But that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, like, I understand my property value is about to go up because of this one building that these people about to build.
Okay.
Here we have multiple abandoned houses. Some are salvageable, some need to be tore down. We understand that.
Okay.
Why hasn't the Muslim community, I don't want to get into black and white, but I'm saying, why hasn't the Muslim community come together and say, you know what, if we buy these houses at $6,000, $7,000, $5,000 and fix them up, the value of them later will be tremendous because of what's being developed here. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
It goes back to
how is it going to be income producing once you get it and salvage it? How's it going to be income producing in the meantime?
Well, and that's
because people don't want their money to just sit.
Sometimes you got it. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you what's going on around here. Every time I call about a house to try to buy or get it some type of way, oh, somebody just bought it. They're not doing nothing to it.
Right.
They're sitting on it. You know why? Because when that development moves its way down and gets to these houses that are just sitting, they can say, well, we want to buy your house. Oh, fine, that's good. I paid $5,000, but here, I need $50 for it. And they're going to say, okay. You know why they're going to say okay? Because they're going to make so much more money on what they're going to put up in that house's place.
I'm in total agreement with you.
So, I mean, I think we have short-term vision.
Well, but in doing that,
and we got
that's still okay. That's still short-term vision too, because you bought it to sell it. You didn't buy it to build up the, you know.
Let's get back on topic.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. So let's we need to get to the inshallah because it's that time. So let's get the
Gotcha.
We'll be right back with the hard truth.
Development.
International Market serves the restaurant in town. 544 Stephen Avenue, Columbus, Ohio. All Yasmin for your clothing and grocery needs.
Alhamdulillah. This is what we're up against nowadays. We have to flush the toilet. We got to. because the people, I apologize, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Alhamdulillah.
But the problem is we have become our own enemies now. See, we talked about the wife to the husband, the children to the father, and the father to the family. But now what about ourselves? We have become our own enemies. We are, it's like, you know how the old pirate movies that they put a sword in your back and say, walk the plank, matey. You know how to jump into the water with the sharks.
Right.
Now we have the knife pointed at ourselves, making ourselves walk to the plank. Removing ourselves from the remembrance of Allah, removing ourselves from the pleasure of Allah. It's astounding. I mean, listen, I got a question. It's a rhetorical question.
Okay.
Why in the world would a person not strive for Jannah? It's rhetorical. But I'm just saying. Because we know the answer, but perhaps you might want to elaborate on it. So if you would like to, by all means, brother, please let the hard truth listeners know. Because maybe it could be something that benefits them, inshallah.
Okay, is the life of this world distracts them. And it allows them to forget. And so they forget themselves.
But no, listen, brother, listen. If you and I go into a corner store or something, right? We got on our sunnah. And, we say salam alaikum to the people, or whatever. And that right there is a reminder. But even though they see the reminder, even though we remind them of Allah, we may say something that reminds them of Allah and remind them that this is haram, what you're doing, and they still do it. Now maybe that wrong.
Maybe. SubhanAllah.
I can't look into the hearts of men. I'm just saying by the actions. Iran, has come with the heart, that blackness. The Prophet ﷺ said, when a man commits a sin, a black dot appears on his heart. And the more the man sins, the more that dot grows until it covers the heart, and then that person is known as what? A person with a black heart. So why do we accept, and I'm not talking about us in particular, but just the body of the Muslims, why do we accept the black heart? I know an Arab guy, right? Two of them, matter of fact, both of them from Palestine, at two different times in life. Neither one of them could say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. They couldn't say it in their own tongue. Do you hear what I'm saying? They could not say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. One of them was trying to make sure that I had to really talk him into praying. And we stood up for the salah. I said, call the economy. He said, I don't know it. He said, I don't know it. And when I tried to walk him through it, he couldn't, the words couldn't come out of his mouth. That's scary.
That is scary.
That is horribly scary.
But just, just because it's your, was your mother tongue, or just because that's the locality that your ancestors might be from, doesn't mean that you personally are able to.
My thing is,
what? Because he didn't spend no time to learn it. Is that what you're talking about?
I mean, if I tell you, if you speak, say you speak Arabic, and I say Shahid Allah, say there's nothing worthy of worship save Allah, and you know the Arabic, you're going to be able to tell me how to say that, I would think, if you know Arabic. I mean, maybe because it's Fusha. I mean, maybe because it's the
Quranic Arabic.
It's the Quranic Arabic,
as opposed to the everyday speaking.
Allahu Akbar.
Completely different. And I mean, yeah, Allah knows best, Akhi, because again, we go back to, if you turn away from Allah, Allah will replace you with a people who will love Him. You know, so I mean, I think about that verse. You know, when I see, listen, when I see people who come from what are assumed to be traditional Muslim countries, and that's their nationality, and they have traded off Quran and Sunnah for this Western lifestyle, and they're happy about it. They run to it and they enjoy it. They revel in it. When I see that, and then they look at me sometimes with disdain and condescension, I smile to myself on the inside because I know about that right there. So if you know, it's and the thing is, Akhi, let's be real. Most of us, and I say us, has a problem, Akhi, you know, with really fathoming Jannah. Even though Allah have described it in the Quran, and you know, be like, yeah, you know, silk brocade and you know, lace with gold, and it's a, you know, this couch, and
it's not sinking in.
It's like, you know, so far. Let me tell you what I remember going to a brother, man, and you know, this brother was mean with his tajweed, mean. He was like the teacher for a lot of brothers. I went to him. I had tears in my eyes. I said, I think I got a defect in my faith because I cannot fathom Jannah. I can't fathom it. So I don't do my salat. I don't perform my ibadah, my acts of ibadah. I don't perform them while hoping for this concept that I can't understand. I said, but I know what pain and hardship is like. So when I do it, I be asking Allah, please just don't put me there. I don't know.
Don't put me over there.
I don't really know what this is over here. Because I haven't experienced a lot of good and just enjoyment in my life. But I have experienced oppression and pain and all of these things that I don't like. Please don't put me there for eternity. And you know, he told me, he said, you know, Shaheed Allah, you don't have no defect in your faith. Keep doing what you're doing. If that's what motivates you, then just keep doing that.
That's a heck of a motivator too.
I mean, but you get some who be like, oh, you know, they don't really think about the punishment, the penalties that Allah talk about. They think about all of the reward. And then so they do everything that they do for the purposes of this reward, which is a different motivator. Yeah, it is.
I'm more so like you. You know, to stop me from being my own enemy, then I have to think about the wrath of Allah. I got to think about Allah's punishment. If I mess up in this dunya, I know I immediately make tawbah because I know you've been here before. You've seen what Allah did to you before.
Woo! No parts of it. I got chills. No parts of it.
So it's like, you know, we become our own enemies. We say the ayat all the time. وَلَا تَكُونُوا كَالَّذِينَ نَسُوا اللَّهَ فَأَنسَهُمْ أَنفُسَهُمْ أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ. Be not like those who forgot Allah. Allah calls them to forget their own selves. They are the fasiqun. These are the people. These are the rebellious and disobedient to Allah. Because we do it. Allah says they deserve. They deserve this guy. They deserve kufr. They deserve this belief. You know, he don't. He don't say, you know, they just been misguided because they deserved it. You know, and Allah is the all-knower. Allah knows what we deserve and what we don't deserve, you know. Maybe, inshallah, he might see something good in us. We got a call on the line. I'm so sorry about this. Area code 614. Oh, that's Queen Zahra. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Hard Truth of Muhammad, Hard Truth Smith, Queen Zahra. Assalamu alaikum. Hello? Sorry if we kept you on hold too long. We're going back and forth on the screens. Yeah, we can hear you.
I didn't press one.
Yes, you did. You pushed something.
It wasn't intentional. It wasn't intentional.
Alhamdulillah.
I'm just benefiting.
Alhamdulillah. Hope it's a benefit, inshallah. Jazakallah khair.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Assalamu
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, I want to go back for a minute because I want to kind of put everything in perspective. When you're dealing with the family life, when you're dealing with the wife, the kids, and yourself, and perhaps your mother and father and so on and so forth, you know, the most important thing is that we all have to remember Allah, and we all have to strive to implement the Sunnah, to stay away from those things that is displeasing to Allah. And you know, you said something about the small things, right? Now, you know, in the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, last farewell speech, what did he say? He said, Shaitan has lost all hope. He was talking to the Sahabas, we were talking to us. But he said, Shaitan has lost all hope in making you commit the major sins, so beware of the little sins. Shaitan got to us. His hope came back with Alhamdulillah. His hope came back, boy, with the Muslims now, boy. SubhanAllah. But the small things that we don't pay attention to in our everyday life, even our speech, you know, even the words that come out of our mouth, our speech, is sometimes, you know, we don't pay attention to it. And I also know, I'm gonna tell you something that I meant to call my daughter school. My daughter comes home one day, she's singing a song that's like now
on the radio.
Yeah, on the radio. So I said, "Where did you hear that song from?" Guess what she told me? On the school bus. On the school bus.
They play music on the school bus, actually.
Yeah, but you have a Muslim school bus driver and a bus full of Muslim kids. Now I'm going to have to find out if I can get that stopped.
You should be able to.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. I mean, that's part of the law that we was talking about.
But it helps create the enemies. It helps, you know, make my daughter, because, you know, I'm like, she goes to a Muslim school.
Right.
They don't play music in the school. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when she gets out of school or she's on her way to school, this bus driver with the baloney face is playing music.
But I mean, we talked about that. So I mean, how can you not expect that if he can't even adhere to something as personal, a personal testament of your iman, small. Wear the beard. Wear the beard. Trim the mustache, leave the beard. If he can't adhere to something as personal as that, then it's evidence right there. There's some evidence that there's a whole lot of other things that he's not going to adhere to. So, I mean,
I'm going to tell you something I cannot stand. I think I've said this before. You see these guys with this thick mustache.
Okay.
And shave their faces. And they say they're Muslim. And I should be like,
the opposite, huh?
Straight. I mean, not even hide it, just I'm totally against the Sunnah one. You know, and these what these individuals are doing. Alhamdulillah, we want to remind the people that inshallah we will be in Atlanta, Georgia next week. Well, I will be. Our brother Shahidullah can't come with me. I wish he could. Might have thrown a kid fire over his head and throw him in the back seat and take off with him.
Uh-oh.
At least you can blame it on somebody else. Alhamdulillah. But inshallah, we'll be in Atlanta next week, and inshallah, I think the next month I'll be in the islands, I believe.
Okay,
inshallah. So after that, after we get back from that,
then it's Ramadan.
Ramadan. We probably done in Ramadan. So after Ramadan, inshallah, we'll be hitting either Philly or Michigan. Michigan has they do a conference once a week or once a month.
It's once a month.
Once a month there. Yeah. So we want to try to hit that, inshallah. Alhamdulillah. But now next week the show will start at 8:30 instead of 9 because their prayer times are different in the South than we have here.
Okay. And
we're going to be interviewing different individuals. Sheikh Dawood Bojang, who is the founder of the Islamic Marital Counseling Center in Atlanta.
Okay.
We're going to be interviewing Sheikh Nadeem Ali, who is a drug counselor who also lives in Atlanta area. Well, Sheikh Dawood is in Jonesboro, Georgia. And Imam Nadeem is in Atlanta, Georgia. And hopefully we're going to try to get an interview with Imam Paul Teasley, who is over burial and washing the bodies in Atlanta. So we're going to talk about that, you know, what to expect with that, inshallah. And we're going to try to get two more people, the president of the MSA, and the Clark Atlanta University, Georgia State, and so on and so forth. And the last person we're looking at is a sister who runs a shelter in Atlanta. See, you know, alhamdulillah, we do things here, but they're doing a lot of things there too.
You mean like as far as having a community that has agencies that actually
who actually do things.
Work.
Now, one thing I've seen here that I've never seen anywhere else is the Muslim Family Service here in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, alhamdulillah.
That's
where's that at?
I believe it's a secret location.
Oh, okay. Alhamdulillah.
Allahu Alam, but they do a lot of good things, you know. If a Muslim is backed up on their bills, they have to pay the bills, house, like rent or something, like get evicted, they'll come and pay it. And it's actually a group of Muslims just come together and do it. You know, it is an organization now, but it's still the same individuals who be like, let me call such and such, get the money, but you will never know where the money comes from.
Gotcha.
But it actually comes from the pocket of a Muslim.
Right.
You know, alhamdulillah. So, inshallah, we want to remind the people that the hard truth will be in Atlanta next week, inshallah, starting Monday. And the show will start at 8:30 instead of 9 because the prayer times are a little different there, inshallah. And we want to remind the people that if we said anything that is offensive, that is wrong, that is an error, then we ask you to pray to Allah Azza wa Jalla alone, to make dua for us, ask Allah to forgive us. It is not our intention to say anything that is incorrect. But if we said something that is truthful and it made you feel some type of way, well, you have to eat that because we cannot change the truth. The truth is what it is. You have to accept it like we have to accept it. And if we said anything that is inspiring, that makes you want to be Muslim or makes you want to be a better Muslim, then verily all the praises due to Allah Azza wa Jalla. I'm out of here. I don't know about him, but I'm about to leave. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. And that's the hard truth.
Hard to say.